Let's figure out how to do the thing that I want to do, which is me pinging everyone in the Discord with the live stream. Yep, it's the thing. It's the thing everyone loves. They go crazy when I ping everyone. Okay, I did it. I think that's everything. Oh, I have to set up mini meters again. Right. Mini meters. You go out. You go there. Wait, not that. Show me. Oh, look at the settings again. I have to open it. It's annoying. Turn off the frequency line overlay. Thank you. And then you go there. Okay, cool. Okay. We're gonna work on this song. Even though I put like 4 O's in the title when I said old, it's not actually that old. Well, technically it's from like 2019, but it's a VIP of a song from 2019, and thus it is technically from like 2023 when I started it, but the song originally was from 2019, so it's old. It counts. All right. Anyways, it sounds like this. The premise here was I was going super crazy with the funky sub. It's doing a lot of pitch bends. How does this work? Where's the reverb coming from? Oh, I have it built in here. Structure, the project file structure is kind of nightmarish. Here, let's put drums all the way up here. Let's just clean up the project file for just a second. And then yeah. We're working on old songs. I don't like how it sprays out. I should use that hypercomb rec you sent me. I'm not planning on doing like sound design, right? Maybe. I mean, I'm gonna have to do sound design at some point, so I'll try it out. There's a lot going on. It's a clusterfuck. It's an old song, all right? I get excuses for making it sound this way, you know? It's all stock? Okay, sick. Cool. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check it out. But it's just like, not in this exact moment, yeah. And then, obviously, we need the drums to, like, filter way more than that. No, more than that, dog. is in complex mode and this guy isn't. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, we have a bunch of stuff. I have no idea. I don't know, man. It's been a while since I've worked on this project, right? There's clearly a lot of shit going on. Thoughts on Bloom? Bloom's good. It's like cheat codes. It's you twist knob and then it sounds better. Here, I'm gonna put Bloom on my master in a second and slam it, and it's just gonna make the whole entire song sound better. It's kind of terrifying in that, like in the future, like we're not gonna need to mix it all. We're just gonna put like some crazy fucking AI plugin on a thing. It's just gonna mix everything. Question: do I ever run into weird dispersion issues with band crossovers on Stab? No. Like theoretically, that probably exists, but I haven't noticed it. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I can like count on one hand the amount of times a phase crossover has ever negatively impacted a song or a sound, and I had been like hunting for an issue and figuring out that it was, I don't know, some filter crossover that I needed to disable or remove. That I can't think of a single time that's ever happened, honestly. I think it's probably happened at some point, but I never ever noticed that. So I mean, that could just be like maybe my ears suck. I don't know. I know it's a thing. People talk about pre-ringing and, you know, linear phase, EQ, or whatever, potentially causing those issues, but I've never really been an issue for me. Maybe I mean, I'm sure it's like causing issues at some points, and maybe I just don't realize that's what the problem is and end up solving it in some other way. So yeah, you only run into it with basses, on basses with, I mean, I notice like phase issues when I'm like playing a bass with a sub, and I suppose an EQ can cause that phase issue, but I usually like address it, I suppose, in a different way. So I don't know. I mean, also, like if you're phase aligning kick and snare, like your kick with your sub, then that is a case in which it can happen. So like, for instance, I have this auto filter just on the whole time. If I'm being like good, I should only turn it on when I'm using it, right? It's like, otherwise it's gonna fuck with stuff, which, you know, you might not want. So like that's optimal, I suppose. Because especially if I'm, I don't know, there can be issues if I'm phase aligning the kick and the sub, you know, but yeah. Here, let's make this go. If you got a multiband on sub with mids, I would just never put a multiband compressor on. I just know my sub is always a dedicated sine wave sub versus other stuff. Yeah, this is I made this song, or this VIP of a song, particularly like right around when I made my first the funky sub rack. So if you haven't seen my YouTube video on dynamic funky sub basses, you should check it. It's one of my best videos for sure. Like, not even in terms of views, but just like I was kind of cooking there. It was really good. And yeah, all that shit's on my Patreon. It's good. Always separate? Yeah, pretty much always. I mean, my sub is always either this funky sub rack thing, which is just a sine wave that's getting pitch bent around, or I'm using hip hop sub preset. Like, always. Hip hop sub cheat codes. And fun fact about hip hop sub, you're like, if you're ever like, man, why does hip hop sub sound so damn good? It's just an operator patch. It's got to be so simple. What makes it so fucking large and always sound good and whatever? I think I boiled it down. I figured it out. The secret to the hip hop sub is, if we look at the spectrogram, right? We're playing a hip hop sub. You're gonna notice there's actually a little bit of inharmonicity with the sub bass. There's a little bit of this like kind of fuzzy whatever shit going on in between the harmonics. And what does that come from? That's from the operator has the vibrato LFO set to high, and it's set to an exact amount, meaning there's inharmonic FM going on at a very slight amount, which I think makes the thing sound a little bit more unstable and adds more low frequency content that fills the, you know, the low frequency spectrum in a subtle way that makes it fucking slap. Because, like, I don't know, let's say you're like standing in a point where there's a room mode, right? In which case you won't hear a single sine wave being played, but like if you got the hip hop stuff, there's like more shit going on, you know? So yeah, if you have like a sub bass patch that's done and not operator or whatever, try fucking around with just like a tiny bit of inharmonic FM. Right? Could be good. Could be good. Because that's basically it. It's basically literally just a sine wave and a couple harmonics and inharmonic FM, just like a tiny bit. And that's like really the sauce. And then, like, you know, you can turn on and off distortion and stuff, but okay, I don't like so much shit going on, dude. Why? Look at how many fucking kick groups I have. Why do I have so many kick groups? I don't know anything, man. I add a new snare over here that's weird. Is it this? Yeah. Sounds I don't think are supposed to be there, or maybe I just added them last time we worked on the song and I'm just not used to hearing it. Yeah, I think so. So if you haven't seen the video, basically this LFO is adding into this LFO, which is adding into this one, and for some reason they're all offset to the max. What the fuck is going on there, bud? Oh, I'm like I don't know, I'm doing a bunch of shit. I'm automating a lot of the parameters around. The pitch offset is slammed all the way. Why? I don't know. It's been years. Anyways, we got I think just a single sine, yeah, just single sine wave basic shapes LFO. And it's we have an LFO controlling offset of another LFO controlling offset of another LFO. And then we have a bunch of auto pans on it to add dynamics in terms of volume, and so all those LFOs are making it move around in this like kind of crazy way. And then I have all these hyper parameters that I'm fucking with to make it sound super goofy and weird. And a little bit of saturation, it seems. Just a wee bit of soft clipping. Okay. What else we got? We got a soothe, because you gotta soothe. It's I guess it's a way to EQ the high end so that when it goes really high, it's not like super loud, so it falls off as you're increasing in pitch, I guess. We got a shifter. It was only for this section, but I resample the sound out, so that's not being used. A chorus ensemble. Dude, I don't know what's... Oh, okay, so the chorus ensemble is not triggering when we're playing sub bass, so whenever it pitches up, then it gets really wide. I see. And then we have this left-right split. Okay. Now I'm surprised here too. I haven't worked on the song in years. I'm gonna keep repeating that. And then we have a little bit of reverb, and the reverb, it has that EQ on it, I guess. And then we got some of this stuff going. So I think it was supposed to... I wanted to do the other way. I don't know. this guy's fucking doing, man. I mean, there's some kind of cool sounds in there, but that's not it. Kind of like that, like, digital MIDI sound, whatever. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? Split this left and right. You can do this, by the way. You can right click this and split it. You can make a stereo split, swap, whatever. We'll just give it something like that. Is that what we want to do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything, man. That was a stupid idea. I don't like it. Let's just lower the width a lot. Kind of cool. And then let's do some of that and do some of that and give it just like a little bit of OTT. There's a lot going on. That shouldn't sound like that at all. Let's go find an old export of this tune, and just so we know like what you're supposed to fucking sound like, you know? No? This guy is... Yeah, that's what it's supposed to sound like. What the fuck are you doing? What are all of you? No, shut the fuck up, man. No. And so Bloom, it's like Goldfoss, which is like it's like people, it's like they take the spectrum, not necessarily the Fletcher Munson, but like what sounds spectrally balanced or good or whatever, and it tries to tune everything to be a bit more like that. And then so this is like almost like kind of like a dry wet or a threshold, and then once you go past to a certain point it starts saturating everything, and so it's like this like, but the way it saturates everything is unique in a way to try to make everything tonally balanced. So it's like a tonal balance, Fletcher Munson soothe distortion multiband thing, and you turn it and it sound good. So like if I put the shit on my master, like let's go over here, this section. So like right now this setting is like extreme at the highs, and so like I'll like dial it back a little bit and maybe like mix it in at like 40%. Kinda, yeah. And there's some cool, it's multi-use, so like you can have it set to like left-right split, and you can have like the left and the right side. So like left is more boosted here and the right is tamed down, so you're kind of like unbalancing like a left-right EQ, but it's not necessarily left-right EQ, it's how the tonal balance responds or whatever, and thus when you do this, everything's gonna sound super wide. So there's interesting ways you can widen stuff. It's cheat codes. I remember, yeah, it's really good. I mean, it costs a lot of money, but worth it. Remember, I got the trial, and you can test out the trial. But I got the trial, and then I just like threw it on my master, and I just threw it on a bunch of different groups within my master, and immediately made the song sound like 30% better. And I was just like, fuck. Well, now I have to buy it because I want to finish the song. So, yeah, it's really good. Shit missing. One, there's this really bad sounding riser in the background. What's going on? Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's like the premise of the song. So this is a VIP of I'll show you it. I'm sure you haven't dug super far back into my discography, but this song here, yeah, 5 years old. So you'll hear the like little things in the background. Anyways, so it's literally just that kalimba melody reversed and a lot of the same sound design, and then the sub is just going crazy. Okay, maybe just like that. Like that, and then we'll do that. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Yeah, no, that was a definitely a unique idea. Now, when I've shown this to friends a few times, it's one of those things where, like, you show a friend, like, the song you're working on, and they have a negative reaction to it, and then it immediately taints your perspective of the whole thing forever. It's kind of what I'm dealing with. Someone was just like, yeah, the sub thing is fucking weird and annoying, you know? Oh, yeah, and, yeah, since you haven't, I'm assuming you haven't seen the video, it's sidechained in such a way that every time the kick plays, the pitch slams back down and slowly releases out. So it has a 460 millisecond release to go back to that really high pitch, but it wobbles on the way up. So every time the kick plays, it's like hammering it down. So it's gonna, the kick plays, it goes up, and it gets knocked back down a few times, right? another fucking rising sound. It sounds terrible, dude. That's fine. What are y'all doing? That's fine. It's like a reverse shifter delay. The you? What are you? Yeah, dude, this is fucking, the song's fucking weird. What are you? Where is this fucking riser thing in the background? It's really noisy and not good. I don't know where it is, man. Is it one of those things where it's like nested in a group and the group is lying to me about what things are actually playing? Because sometimes that happens. No, it just doesn't exist, and I'm going fucking crazy. No, it needs to go, man. Where the fuck are you? Here. Oh my god, here. Okay, it's just this guy. The added distortion noise sounds like ass, I guess, for the high end. I don't know. Why are you doing that? What's causing that? It's this? Oh, it's signed full distortion plus the stereo swap rack. Okay. Yeah. It's missing sounds. We got random glitch sounds happening. Nothing's organized. Why am I like this, man? What's going on? Where the these guys. Oh, it's this. We just have like that one was kind of cool. That one was stupid. Maybe we open you up with a auto filter and then you can work as like a drum fill that your squelches, you know? No, you're stupid. So fucking dumb, man. No, you're just going. Who the fuck thought you were gonna sound good in the song? What were they smoking when they put you in here? Like, actually. Why are there different racks? All right, we're gonna listen to the original track because none of this sounds right. Yeah, Flatline is just better than OTT. Use Flatline, it's really good. sound so good, and then I ruined you. I just absolutely fucking ruined you. Oh, I see. We have a dry, wet rack with this guy. This guy's doing the work. Now let's turn off the spray clap. Spray clap, you're not good. Why, man? Why? And what the fuck is this? Yeah, like, are you good even? What's your point? That guy isn't good either. I don't know. I'm remembering why I gave up on the song. What's up, Jade? Forever? Wait, this happens for 5. What the fuck? Okay, there's an extra 4 bars here that should not exist. One of these 3. Let's investigate. Oh no, they all look kind of different. I was expecting one to be a explicit clone of another. It's this one. No, but this one has the riser in it. And this has the tail, so it can't be that. It's this one. Wait. I'm so confused. That's kind of good. That's kind of good. That works. Okay. Okay. We need to organize the project. That's what we need to do. I need to figure out which one of these 4 bars I need to delete, because yeah, very weird. Can we let's just go. Just go. Get out of here. Bam. Sound like that. None of these are sounding right, man. What are you doing down here? Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, no, it's just a carbon copy. I see. Why? Yeah, no, don't do that. That's better. Where's all the delay coming from? Where's the delay sent? You. It's you. Disgusting. much pitch bend though. When did I ever make that decision? It's so dumb. Okay. It's sounding moderately better. It's hurting me though. Hurting. What? Why don't you play there, bud? You shy? What's going on? Okay. Really? That's better. There's a couple other elements playing that should not be. Yeah, no, it's not in this. Wait, did I not just mute the group that they were all coming from? Where are they coming from? Who designed this project file? Who the Okay, we just have this guy up here. That's fine. I mean, that guy sounds kind of lit. He sounds kind of good. They're like having a conversation. Yeah, there's like they're asking questions at some points. They're just yapping. Okay, let me just do that. Where's that other sound? The thing that's panning around and being all annoying? This guy? Yeah, fuck that guy. What are you doing? What are you doing? We just got like random fucking drum fills doing stupid stuff. Nothing's organized. I mean, I should just organize it. That's what I should do. Right? What? That's not it. What's going on, man? Is it up here? It's not. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? You don't sound good. Who put you there? Go home. this guy a lot. We got like whole tone scales in here. Okay, this hurts, but we're making do. There's definitely a lot of issues in that there's a lot of sounds that I lost and cannot recreate, but I have a couple resampled and recorded out versions of them, so I have to stick with them. It's very weird. It's very weird. 12.3. Be sure to say thank you to Mr. Yeah, thank me, goddammit. I need it. I'm just kidding. Oh, so, in other news, I've decided to completely submit myself to the AI overlords. In terms of coding and programming, I'm making a website for practicing chords and shit like that. It's got a lot of potential, I think. So the premise is learning music theory through MIDI notes. It's fucking hard, right? It's unintuitive. Music theory was invented with like instruments and stuff like that in mind. So for instance, just like knowing that this is a major chord takes Mr. Leakey's just a regular guy. That's all you need to know. So knowing that this is a major chord, like eventually you just remember the shape. You just remember the shape of the 3 notes, and then the third in the middle is a little bit closer to the 5th, and then you know if that's a minor chord. You end up memorizing and intuiting the shape. However, like inversions are kind of confusing to remember. Like knowing intuitively this is a second inversion of a major chord is fucking it's hard, it's challenging, and there's not really any like resources I think to like building an intuition for that. So I'm making like a fucking chord recognition gamified app thing. Here's a random picture of it, but it would just straight up be like, hey, what's the chord that's this thing, and you would be like, oh shit, that's a I don't even know, I think that's an A diminished, right? Because it goes A to C to D sharp. Yeah, that's an A diminished, but it's like a first inversion or second, whatever. And you know, you just keep having the thing quiz you on that, and eventually you're going to learn it. And then I'm going to build a thing where it's just going to say like, given you're in the key of D major, write like a 1-5-3-2 progression, and then you just have to input the fucking notes, and you gotta do all the shit. I think that could be super useful for getting better at composing and writing in MIDI because it's unintuitive. And then I'm going to make it microtonal and make microtonal versions. And so if you want to get good at 22 notes per octave, you can load up a 22 notes per octave thing, and it'll be like, well, what chord is this? Is this a fucking sub major chord? Is it a sub minor or whatever? Sub minor 7th, augmented, whatever. You know, you can all the different possible chord labels, and so you can ingrain and practice out like pattern recognition with MIDI. You know, because people don't be doing that. Like the only way that I know of to build pattern recognition with MIDI is to just do MIDI a lot, but there's no like tools, you know? This is my MIDI music theory idea. Yeah, so basically, I don't know, it could be, I think, super useful. Because like I've already spent some time like learning like microtonal theory and trying to come up with like different 7th chords for like 23 notes per octave. And then when you work within that paradigm, you're like, okay, I want this to be like a flat 5th sub minor 7th chord, and then you have that play, and then the next 7th chord is going to be like a super major chord, but it's going to be playing at the root of the other thing. That takes like a lot of calculation, you know, but being able to just intuit and see the shapes and just know what it is, I think would be super useful. Also, just like writing and, you know, just seeing the shapes and seeing it as, oh, that's a 1 5 2 progression, right? That could be massively useful for just like understanding what's going on. Well, I don't know. I think that's useful. AI coding tools are fucking insane. Like, it's ridiculous. I already have a website thing that works for triads and inversions. I'm just gonna like expand it out and make it a lot more usable, and then figure out how to host it and all that. And then I think that would be super useful. And then I'll make a microtonal version, because there's like no pedagogical tools for microtonal composition in terms of MIDI, right? There's some ear trainers out there, but like, what the fuck is ear training gonna get you? You know, there's like not that much microtonal music out there. So like, okay, if you can recognize that that's like an augmented tritone, like what is that going to do for your writing? I mean, something probably, but seeing your vibe group, yeah, no, I'm giving in. I'm submitting myself to the vibe coding. I'm with it. I'm fully on board. Fuck it. We're here fighting against it. Like, what is that going to do me? I'm not gonna get lost behind. But I'm gonna try to make something actually useful and interesting with it, instead of I don't know, like an LLM package wrapper UI whatever, so that I can just like try to make a few bucks. I think it's interesting, and I think there's a lot of potential there. Yeah. The vibe coding is you pull up an LLM and you're like, hey man, code me a website that does X, Y, and Z, and it codes it up, and you're like, hey man, just make it look like a little bit tighter and prettier, and just like add this functionality to it, and just codes it up. You have no idea what the fuck's actually doing. You're just telling it, and you're just vibing with the generative AI LLM. And honestly, like, you can go really far in terms of like personalized apps. The biggest problem with doing that is they suck ass at like cybersecurity, and you can't be confident in cybersecurity whatsoever if you don't know how it's been coded. So like, there's going to be a lot of data leaks and stuff like that in the near future, I'm sure, with how many people are just vibe coding up websites. So it's interesting. But in terms of like, you could just sit down and you have an idea for like a web app, something pretty simple, like a game, like for instance, something I've talked about before is like, I used to, when I was learning music theory, I wrote a script in Python or a text-to-speech robot to just shout at me random chord intervals and stuff like that. It would just say play a C minor 7th chord, and I would play it, and it would say play a G sharp diminished, and I would play it. And then I just did that for like 20-30 minutes every single night, and then I got really fucking good at yeah, I forgot Xn's and the DEF CON whatever, it's like a conference thing, technology, music and art technology something. I remember you talking about it last year. Anyways, doing that, and I learned all the chord shapes on how to play all the chords on the piano like super quickly, just because I was like working with like a gamified kind of thing, and I scripted it up myself. And anyone can do that now. You just tell the robot, write me a script. Yeah, we're cooked, but we're cooked either way. So I'm gonna try to learn some stuff on the way. I'm a great man, however, perhaps get well soon. Alert is sounding. No, I mean, I've like we're cooked as a society, and we're like everything's kind of collapsing as we know it, and you know, like late stage capitalism and all that. However, don't get lost behind. Right? Like, the tools are really powerful. Like, they're overrated also. They are absolutely overrated. And, you know, we're in a bubble, and I think the bubble's going to pop for sure. But that being said, I've spent this whole time so pessimistic and depressed about AI technology and all that I've been rejecting it entirely and not using it at all. And I'm realizing that that is a mistake as well, you know? Like, it's, yeah, sure, it's not as great as it says, as the hype is saying, but it's not useless. It's very powerful and can accomplish a lot as long as you're like understanding of what it can and cannot accomplish. And yeah, that's been me for the past couple days. So I don't know. I have a slightly more positive, I suppose, outlook in a way. Not really. In the grand scheme of things, we're just fucking cooked. But it's still pretty good. You can ask it to make it like crazy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can make the crazy clock time map and no problem at all using it. Yeah, it's not all bad. Exactly. So trying to use it to make something good. And I think the website tools stuff I'm working on right now, I think would be actually super useful because I've been looking for a MIDI chord training thing for years and no one's done it. Everything that's even similar, it's all with like staff paper. No one's writing in staff paper. If you're if you're a producer, you're just doing it in MIDI, and writing stuff in MIDI is unintuitive, you know? Like 99% of people are probably, if they're like, oh, I need to write in the scale, they're like literally just gonna make a scale and then fold it. But if you understand, you know, shapes and whatnot on the thing, if you understand music theory and you understand how to translate the music theory into MIDI, then you don't have to do that. And then all of a sudden, there's so many more possibilities because you're not stuck within that scale. Like lately, I've been able to start writing outside of just folding a scale. And then, you know, it's been super powerful. I feel like I've just been writing more interesting harmonies and melodies and stuff like that. And anyway, I think that could all be useful. Yeah. It's raised the skill ceiling on stuff. Yeah, it's raised the skill floor and the skill ceiling. And just the speed of productivity is just fucking crazy. Yeah. The thing that changed my mind is I watched this video. I was talking about it in the Discord of this like decently large music producer, and he was vibe coding entire, like pretty basic, but he was vibe coding DSP plugins. And he literally just had like a Claude setup where he would just tell it, I want a VST that, I don't know, I want a distortion VST that could do signfold distortion and like 3 different types of distortion, whatever. You could tell it anything. And then it just automatically codes and constantly tests audio and checks if the audio that it's, you know, running through the distortion thing will end up like blowing up, or if it sounds right or whatever. And it just keeps iterating on it and testing itself and iterating. And you could just walk away for 5 hours and then come back, and then there's just an entire fucking VST plugin. It just codes up the entire thing. It's ridiculous. It's something that would take years and years and years of practice to be able to work at even close to that speed. And yeah, no, it's just fucking nuts. There's gonna be so much slop. There's gonna be so much bad shit pushed to the market once everyone starts. I mean, it's already happening, but like, oh man, you can't even predict. Yeah. This sounds bad. I don't know how to make it more interesting. Oh, let's use maybe Wise's fucking Ultracomb thing. Where did he send me that? Did he send me that in the chat? That was that in the sound design thing? Ultracomb. I don't know where you sent it to me. Did he even send it to me? You call it a different thing? So much stuff to dig through. A bunch of voice scrambler stuff. I don't know. I do not. Oh no, he did send it to me. I found it. Okay, let's take this thing, and then let's put you on you. And let's not crash Ableton, because I don't know how stable this track is. You can set up like either or Claude code to be agentic like that. Yeah, and then you can get like multiple of them like talking to each other. You can have like a product manager Claude, and you can have multiple code agent Claudes that work on different things, and they all communicate to each other within like one single text file, and they all read from that, and then they just work out in batch. It's kind of fucking nutty. Like I've just been rejecting it this whole time, and now I'm like finally like looking at it, because like my last impression of LLMs and stuff was like of honestly like a year and a half ago. That was like the last time I was like frequently using them for like coding stuff, and it was just really good at like doing like batch scripting like really quickly, but nothing even remotely complex. But I accidentally deleted the Ultracomb thing. Let's put it back. But it's much better now. No, the thing that really blew my mind is I found some shitty LLM like GPT wrapper website, and it was like, I could build a website for you in one single prompt, right? Like they just set up like a prompt beforehand and are like using whatever GPT through it. And I just said, I want a MIDI counterpoint trainer. It's something that I tried to code before, like in Python, like a year and a half ago, and I just like never got it to really work. And it created an entire website for doing MIDI counterpoint with like only like 2 really basic examples, and you know, it still had issues and stuff like that, but it just did it like in 3 minutes, and it was something I'd spent hours on and never even got close. It's just ridiculous. Okay, let's record this out, and then we'll fuck with it. Now let's take this guy. Let's flatline it. And then no, why? Yeah, like that. Better. Pitch meme. Yes. Yeah, you just have to pay him no mind. Yeah, I agree with that. Like looking at the vibe coding subreddit just to see like, I don't know, well, what's the state of things, how people are using them or whatever. And there's some people who are like, yeah, I'm a senior whatever software developer engineer, and like 99% of what I do now is vibe coding, and I'm just overseeing things and just like on important files, I like, you know, might double check and make sure that the code like works and oversee stuff. But for the most part, they're just prompting like multiple different agents around, and they're just accomplishing things like 5 to 10 times faster than they were before. And then the other like 90% is people just regurgitating and just making like the most uninspired slop. But that's literally everything, so it's to be expected, right? Yeah. Sound like garbage, and it's going to take forever to tune it and make it sound better. Whatever. I worked on this enough. New project, but I'm working on it again, and I do like the song. So this one's going to be a nightmare to finish. This one's going to absolutely suck, because I remember I decided like a year and a half ago, I was like, I'm giving up on this project file and I'm never working on it again. I've decided the song is too difficult to finish. Like, it sounds good, but it is too much effort. And then I changed my mind. So it's not going to be fun. We're going to struggle. So that's cool. What else can we do? There's a few. Oh yeah, let's work on. You know what? Let's consult the document. So I was thinking. All right. I have an EP coming out soon. I still haven't submitted it to distributors because I suck. And I still want to double check a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to. I mean, realistically, I should just revisit those songs and just make sure that they sound good. Yeah, that's what we should do. All right, we're gonna do that. All right. Stop yelling at me. Where are they? Open recent. Fuck. Oh, it's down here. Cool. You wonder how much AI stuff I've seen and watched and enjoyed? If it's, yeah, a lot of it. No, a lot of it. There's so much chat GPT. Fucking people need to stop. Like, what really pisses me off, I mean, I don't know, I hate when someone isn't confident enough in their own writing or ability to write a comment, and so they have chat GPT write for them in like a forum post. Like, the point of the forum is to converse with other fucking people, you know? How naming, I haven't even thought about naming it, frankly. So poorly. Definitely mindlessly fell for a couple of clips. So many people on YouTube. The worst, actually, is thinking a thing is AI when it's not. And it's actually real, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm just terrible. There's no way to know anything anymore. So that's whatever. I don't know. I guess one of the hopes is that like dead internet theory like fully takes over and then everyone just gets the fuck off the internet, but that's not going to happen. Because AI is going to develop in such a way that it stays entertaining. Like, inherently, that's how it works, how capitalism works. You know, it's going to develop in such a way that it continues making profit, and it continues demanding attention. So a lot of people will tune out, I think. or at least, I mean, what they tune into. No, the internet's just going to change. It's going to remain like insular, like Discord communities and stuff like that, probably. And those like larger web, like Reddit, Facebook, all of that will possibly die. I don't know. I don't know anything, man. I don't know anything. But we do need to name it. Yep, this is my cool words folder. I'm like, here's potential names for things. I put 4 things in here since I started this folder like 6 months ago. So that's great. Really cool. I guess something I could think about. So yeah, I have this EP I want to put together, and then I really just need to figure out. I probably after this EP, I should just finish the microtonal album, and then put out this album. But I kind of want to put out this album first. I don't know. I just have 2 big projects I need to work on. It's kind of a nightmare. No, but being a part of groups and building things like Discord memes will remain. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have 0 social media. My interaction online is a single Discord community and my mates on WhatsApp. It got so fucking shit. I hated it. Yeah. I spend actually I've been doing a little bit better lately, but I spend way too much time on Reddit. It's at least like better than like TikTok and Instagram and shit, but it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. And I'm like at the point where like visibly like well over half the comments are all bots and shit, and I'm just like, okay, what am I even doing here? Like I still use it often, but it's just so garbage. Yeah, YouTube is also, yeah, but again, it depends on how you use it and what you curate and what you look at, you know, is like what your own algorithm has been set up to do, I suppose. But there's a lot of shit. Something I like to think about is like, you know, and it used to be like life is suffering, right? It used to be that basically everything out in the world is trying to kill you, right? There's a really good quote by Werner Herzog about the Amazon rainforest. I'm gonna find it. Herzog, Amazon. Pause.
Herzog is stranded in the jungle with the 3 and Indians.
And it hits nature itself. Of course we are challenging nature itself, and it hits back. It just hits back, that's all, and that's grandiose.
Yeah, this is gonna be shorter. Birds don't sing, they screech in pain.
Herzog is stranded in the jungle with a 300-ton...
was it?
About it, and that's grandiose about it, and we have to accept that it is much stronger than we are. Kinski always says it's full of erotic elements. I don't see it so much erotic, I see it more full of obscenity. It's just, and nature here is vile and base. I wouldn't see anything erotical here. I would see fornication and asphyxiation and choking and fighting for survival and growing and just rotting away. Of course, there's a lot of misery, but it is the same misery that is all around us.
Oh, the parrot.
The trees here are in misery and the birds are in misery. I don't think they sing, they just screech in pain.
So like life is suffering, right? And you know, it used to be everything out is trying to kill you, right? You know, the plants are poison, the fucking, you're being hunted by lions or whatever. Everything's just trying to survive and kill each other. And like, in a way, like, you know, we've evolved in this internet ecosystem, all that. Basically everything, there's still things on every corner trying to take advantage of you and use you and milk you for profit. They don't want to kill you though. They just want your money. They just want to beam you with advertising so that you're like brainwashed into like slightly preferring to like purchase a different item so that they can extract more wealth and power out of you. There's, you know, like scammers and like temptation and I suppose hostile forces trying to work against you, but not necessarily you in particular, but like the broader statistical you that is humanity, you know? And they just like operate everywhere, you know, crypto scammers, just everything. And it's like the same world. It's just evolved. I think it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. I want to introduce this. I mean, it's mostly just like a single sine wave at this point, but just like introduce it with just reverb, I think could be interesting. You know? But yeah, just like the premise of like there are people who like work in like scam call centers that like are like their life is just dedicated to trying to steal money from you and trick you and con you into giving them your money. I mean, that exists everywhere on like different scales that are like obviously less overt, right? You know, just like, you know, all your data being sold and kept by different companies so that they can extract more wealth out of you and all of that shit. It's just the same fucking, it's the same thing with just a different lens on it. Yeah. Where do you travel to on plane? Sound consistent. It's panning inconsistently. What's panning inconsistently? You. Why are you panning like that, bro? What's your deal? Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god, disgusting. It's been like this whole time? The shit was not synced to the grid? This is like the entire timbre of that synth. What the fuck? Well, maybe this is part of why it's taken so long for me to mix down. I have so many like tiny little automations and like little things going on the group processing. Maybe there's like a lot of this shit happening. Sidechain right there. You can't hear it. Maybe it's not a sidechain, there's just a lot. It's just getting masked completely. There's a lot of things going on. I want the melody to be more audible here. Hey, what's up, Maybe Wise? Welcome back from the other video. Yeah, it is a dope video. I agree. I've like listened back to that and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I was fucking cooking. I haven't come up with anything that cool in a while. Though to be fair, like the first like 3-4 videos I made were like all rapid fire because like I never made videos before and it was just shit I figured out over like the previous like 5 years. Can't imagine mixing something like this down. Yeah, it's awful. It fucking sucks. It's terrible. Y'all's tunes out of Campfire last week. Oh, cool, sick. Yeah, everyone in UK, they just listen to fucking Garage, mate. I fucking hate Garage. I'm so over it. They need to stop bringing the UK music here. It's like all UK 140, which is just boring 140 dubstep with like British people yapping over beats, and then we have Garage, which is just breakbeat with British people yapping over beats. I'm so over it. It's been like a year and a half, and it's been unending. But yeah, we have a glitch scene at least. So hopefully more of that rubs off over there, because I hear y'all have like not really anything. Like the only Psy shit you have in the UK or like in Europe is just all Psytrance, really, right? Why do you... No, it's straight up to sidechain's away. Where's the snare sidechain? Where are you? Sidechain filter? No. Sidechain from the kick. Oh. I think maybe he's lying to me. I think there's a fuck ton of latency, and so seeing when these trigger isn't actually accurate. Yeah, it's not accurate. Okay. There we go, yeah. Side fucking sucks. They have all the good shit on the East Coast and like in the South. Like that blows me away. Like all the Tipper and Friends shit. I mean, I guess Denver's also like a little mecca, but like all the Tipper and Friends shit all happens in the South. There's like tons of super crazy crack producers in like Oklahoma and the Carolinas and stuff. It's wild. Florida, yeah. Like the last time we had like Tipper and Friends in the West Coast, when he came for Same But Different like 2 years ago, there was Coalesce in like 2018, 2019. They never fucking come to California. I mean, maybe if you say Psy, you mean like Psy Trance, but in like California, Bay Area, whatever, our Psy is like space dubstep, which is just like dubstep with like 3 different patches that they keep alternating, right? It's all like 140. Maybe I'm thinking about like the Santa Cruz has like a cool scene, cool culture, really cool you know, it's like a psychedelic culture, it's a hippie, you know, like above whatever, but it's like all fucking 140 150 BPM and halftime, like just like bass music. Space bass, but like Psy bass, no, they don't have that shit. It's annoying. Maybe Wise at a Renegade the other day, and I'm like, I know there's a lot of like desert scenes and stuff like that because they got like burner stuff, but like it's all like 4 on the floor Psytrance shit or techno, progressive. They have a lot of progressive techno and house, right? But like glitch hop in the West, not really. We have a fuck ton of renegades for sure, but they all play fucking like halftime and dubstep. I swear. Also, Exon's playing the black box? No fucking way. Get the fuck out of here. Hell yeah. Oh, I guess the Gorge, Washington. Yeah, technically. That was rare as fuck. That's very rare. Like, Tipper and Friends is always in Florida. And then they always play... He plays festivals in the, like, middle of the United States. That, like... The only times he's been played on the West Coast that I can remember is Gorge, same but different, like 2 years ago. Oh, he played LIB last year. That's it. And then Coalesce in like 2018, but that was before I got in the scene. You think there'll be much reason to visit America for this scene once Tipper's done? Yeah, I think the scene's gonna continue for sure. I'm in it. I'm in America. God. No, but there's like a fuck ton of artists in the Tipper and Friends scene. Like, just look at the lineup for all the after parties for the Orion and like Red Rocks shows that are happening soon. They're all like really, really talented highbrow producers in the scene. What's up, Dodozil? Hudson comes down a bit too. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with Hudson Lee, really. Yeah, like, it exists, but it's just small as fuck relative to, like... I mean, maybe underground stuff. There's just no like above ground, like big. There's no like side-based themed festivals on the West Coast, like really at all. The closest things you get is like space-based dubstep stuff. And yeah, Exon and I got to meet, which was super cool. We got to meet at the Gorge. It was like the second person from my Discord I got to meet in person. Maybe third. I met Swampwalker at Swanee. And I met Hawken, he's the guy who did he did my audio visual. He did all my visuals, and he made all my he made like all of my album artwork, and he did my visuals for my visual mix. I met him at Swanee. That was super cool. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, maybe, I don't know. I feel like that whole drop sounded fine. I did keep pausing it every 6 seconds to talk to chat, but I was still listening whenever I was playing, so I think that section all sounded fine. I did make a couple tweaks in this section, so like, let's just like restart. Yeah. I've been making this song for like 4 years with this lead line. I'm committed. I'm not changing it. That's such a great way to build camaraderie with another country. You're just like, here's this generalized terrible thing about your country I always hear. But hey, our country sucks too, so you know? Just a quick mute with the beat here. I'm gonna use the bathroom and I'm gonna play it out on my monitors. So it mostly all sounds fine to me. There's this part here when it switches up and the timbre. Oh, also the bit accents bit on when you get shot just bleed out. That is good. I just needed to say that. The timbre switch up sounds like something's fucked with the mix, but then once I get used to the new timbre, it sounds fine. So there's like some way that I'm teasing in the sound over here that doesn't quite work. Like the tonal spectral balance of the overall mix with how the synths sound in this section and how it sound in this section, the disparity between it makes me feel like I fucked up something in the mix. But then when I'm used to it, then it sounds perfect. It's weird. It's a weird, I'm not familiar with this kind of. All right, I need to find, where's the disperser? Oh god. Where am I dispersing the sound? We got voice scramblers everywhere. And freeform phase. I think there's just too much dispersion. I think that's the issue. Sick. Okay, okay. I'm moving the offset. It's like 24th notes, and by like changing the offset, it's like panning left and right, and then it's like rotating around. It's doing like a little swirl thing. Fucking sick. That's pretty fucking cool. Like, it's kind of extreme. The amount of panning is kind of extreme. Is it? It resolves back down here. Yeah, it's too. It shouldn't go to 100%. On headphones, that sounds like shit. It sounds kind of shittier in headphones. Sounds really, really cool on speakers, though. Those that sounds fine. That sounds fine. I don't know, song sounding fine. I just need to come up with a name, really. Like, I could tweak it forever. The mix is not perfect, but I've spent so long on this song and it's good enough, and I need to just like embrace what's the opposite of perfectionism? Shit. I just need to embrace shit. Put out shit music. Gotta do more of that. Okay, new song. I guess since we're doing the let's obsess over everything in our mixes, for the EP, I should probably visit more songs from the fucking EP. You know what I haven't listened to in a while is this one. Zen, you're talking about Zen? No, it's shit. It's just poop. It's all poop, man. It's the secret. Let's open up this way, get rid of that, and then where? Let's get my camera thing. This might take a while to load, and Ableton will likely crash in process. Bam! Camera. So cool. Wow. Neat. I've been trying to learn like a riff, like a chord progression in every single key. So one thing that I learned is like I already forgot. No. That little bit there, and then doing it in every single key. And then we got no. Yeah, D sharp is a weird fucking. No, D sharp major is literally just C minor, which I'm so comfy with, but like playing a chord progression from the lens of it being D sharp major, it like fucks my brain somehow. I don't know. Then there's this other thing I'm trying to learn that I just started that I'm terrible at. And it's also, so last thing's like a 2-5-1 progression. Like, I'm doing that with my left hand, right? So, right, it says a 2-5-1. I'm like outlining and arpeggiating like 7th chords. What the fuck is a Enya? I don't know it. Or Orinoco. Or is that a recorder on the recorder sound? Anyways, the other thing I'm trying to learn is how does it go? No. And then that's like one of the chords. Then we go. And then the third chord is my brain, it hurts. No. Is that. So imagine pretend all the things I just played right there was played really, really quickly and it sounded really good. Pretend that happened. So that pattern, I'm trying to learn that in every single key. So that was in C. In D, we got, nope. And then the last one, no. I do not have a sustain pedal now. Stretches look uncomfy as fuck. Like octa stretches. I got big hands. I don't know. It's not too much of an issue. Though the chord progression thing I'm trying to learn that I was just showing off. Figuring out how I'm supposed to like place my fingers on that is a fucking nightmare. Here, I'll show what I'm trying to do from this satisfying, super satisfying, sound pleasant but making you work clickbait thing. Anyways, it's this thing here. So it just sounds fucking sick. I mean, it sounds super cool. You just keep changing keys and it still sounds neat. You're just playing a 2-5-1 progression over and over again. How much delay are you getting on the input? Oh, it's like instantaneous. It's all made in the synthesizer. So that is a hardware digital synthesizer, and that's going directly out into my audio interface, and that's being separately sent to my stream and is also being sent directly into my headphones. So the synth, 0 delay, which is cool. If I were to actually treat it as a MIDI instrument and play stuff from Ableton, it would have a really disgusting amount of delay. Unless if I use my interface and I make everything ASIO, then there would be very little delay, but then I can't stream it. So there's weird shit going on. Hanon, yeah, Hanon's boring as fuck, but I should probably try that more. I read about it. I tried it once and I was like, yeah, this is boring as shit. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, what song is this? Oh, it's this one, right? That snare is way too snappy in the intro. You should not snap like that, man. Sounds fine. I'm just using headphones, but sounds good. Yeah, that's a good fucking song. I made pretty much the whole thing in like one session too. I don't know how I did it. It's kind of like a click, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, it sounds fine. Sounds fine. There's one thing I didn't like the tail here. I'll change that. Yeah, it's fine. Yo, I love that message. That was one of my favorites, and now it's gone. Fill track if it's good. Next to it, next to the speaker. I can't speak. Yeah, my cats, they're weird. My cats are terrified, or one cat in particular is terrified of my piano for some reason, but does not mind my speaker at all. Oh, I guess the piano's probably playing some like ultrasonic harmonics or something that are probably bothering it, and my speakers are probably playing. How does Ableton work? If my settings are explicitly at 44, yeah, there's a high pass filter basically. Not a high pass filter, but nothing's playing above 22K. Because I know my monitors go cleanly up to like 40K, but I rarely ever do anything ultrasonic, so I don't have the storage for it. Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds fine. I mean, I only listen on headphones, but like I've already mixed this down enough, but nothing really stood out to me. Recorded a tambourine once your cat jumped off. It's funny, like, jumped out the window for a cat is a very normal thing, right? But like I imagine a cat is just on a windowsill or whatever, but like in my head I'm getting like a Looney Tunes-esque like breaking through the glass, like just trying to get the fuck out of there kind of thing in my head. Okay, that sounds good. This one, I'm pretty sure we clarified this sounds good last time I opened it. There's only one other song on the thing. And that one also sounds good. I'm kind of over this guy. It's okay. I'm just over all the music. The thing is like, I hate all the music by the time I release it, you know? What's on 44.1 versus 48? 44.1 takes up less space. 48K, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, one of my coworkers or mentors or whatever at Dolby told me that like 48K was, there's like some schism between like audio engineers doing 44.1 and then like people making movies who was all in 48. Yeah, 48 is for TV and movies. And it's just one of those there are two standards thing, and thus life continues with two standards, but 48 is for TV and movies. And just like if you want shit to work properly, if you want clocks to work right, you got to set your sample rate to be the right thing. I live on the first floor, so I got a text from my downstairs neighbor. It's disgusting. Oh god, in the UK, you say the first floor is the second floor? Oh my god. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would never go there. Cat, you yourself out the window after sprinting across the room. Ever thought to bother changing to 44.1? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Ableton crashed. That's cool. It's super, super cool. Well, 44.1 files are smaller. Oh, ground floor, first floor, second floor. I live on, wait. Well, ground floor, first floor, second floor. The first floor is the second floor. Yeah, in the UK, you call that's gross. The first floor is ground floor. The second floor is the second floor, right? Because the fact that you had to say the first floor is the second floor, no, we're not doing that. It's yeah. Second floor is the second floor, right? That makes the most sense. Okay. Shut. All right. You got me there. You got me there. I like the theme of today's stream, which has been UK versus. If you want your music to work on anything, I think 48 should be what to render to, or just render your music so you have a 48 and a 44.1. I just remember, yeah, Dolby, I had to do so much like batch scripting to like mass convert like hundreds and hundreds of 7.1.4 WAV files to go in between 44.1 and 48K just so that they would work in different systems and different contexts, because some motherfucker decided to make another standard, right? Basically what you do as an intern there. Okay, let's look at this. that went kind of hard, like, unironically. Yeah, I was about to say, it's very gimbal walk-esque. Yeah. Bro, it just wants to be gimbal lock, I swear. I swear. I gotta say, it's so, man, having fans is fucking awesome. I'm grateful to have viewers and fans, I have to say. Having other people reference songs I made when a thing happened, because that's just like in their brain now. Like, it's not just in my brain, it's in their brain. That's fucking cool. I like it. Okay. What did I do? Oh, this breakdown here. I needed to tweak. I tweaked the vinyl distortion volume because it was like tweaking out a little bit. Over here. This guy over here. Let's check. Okay, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to listen to it again. I'm gonna play from over here so we can hear the build up in its entirety with full context.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes hard. It goes hard. It's good. It's good. Song is good. Song is good. All right. Oh, something I was kind of questioning was the introduction of the snare. Why did I pronounce introduction like that? Introduction. The way I bring in this, it just like, snare just sounds weird, man. In the intro, like it sounds like it's like too loud at a point. It's fine. It's fine, man. So maybe I can make it thinner. Ooh, okay, I keep lowering the highs. Maybe in this section it'll be thinner. And then we'll and then it'll stop being thin, right? Because we got like a fake out drop, right? We're like, oh, the drums are here, right? These are the drums. And then no, these are the drums over here. Haha. Got it. Was I muted when I was making the funnies a second ago? That's a bummer. Oh well. The song is too quiet in this section. It gets loud as fuck over here, justifiably so. Like -7, which -7 is loud. It's not on like the loud side of loud, you know, like there's like loud music and then like the loud amount, like the loud side of loud music, that's like -5, -6, right? -7 is like is loud music. This actually is -9, which like, I mean, it's cool that it gets louder, but I'm scared. What if it needs to be louder in the first bit, you know? It's fine. Dynamic music is good. Though, I mean, this is an EP, and on the EP, some of it is much louder than the... I probably need to, like, consider mastering for an EP and make them all the same level. Probably. Maybe. Somewhat. I don't know. The song sounds fine. The song sounds good. Okay, we can move on to something else. That's pretty much the whole EP, with the exception of this guy. But I'm pretty sure we all agree that this song is good. So let's just recap. This song here sounds good. You know what? We're gonna take notes. We're gonna take fucking notes. Done. Possibly need to normalize loudness more. Released. The least done of the bunch. This one needs the most focus. And then I think this one's also done. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to it and then assess. And then I need to think about song titles. Oh my god, help me, get me out of here. This one that's highlighted, beautiful. By this flip, I mean, this flip might be my first release, just frustrated with the snare. By the flip, meaning the thing, if there's an update, I'll peep it. If you have since updated it, that would be cool. Got to put ring mod all over it though. I'm begging you. I think that'd be super cool. Okay, while this loads, we'll go back to this thing. You know, back in the day, I miss playing tabla in between. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I used to play tabla while things were loading. But since getting my audio interface only has so many inputs, and so I have to choose between a microphone input or the synthesizer input, and thus I can't play tabla as an intermission, which is a bummer. Because I am a little bit better at tabla than I was before. Ableton Crash, Ableton Crash. Kind of butcher the last bit. I'm gonna do some work on it once I've slept. Send over the version. Don't sound better, chip it away at it. Yeah, the secret to making a thing sound good is you gotta like slowly chip away at it over time. Oh geez, look at that posture. Oh my lord, you don't want to look at that. I'm sorry folks. I found my best mixes come from, well obviously my best mixes come from things that are composed intelligently in such a way that like it's just gonna sound good. But second of all, it's mixes where I chip away at it for like 10 minutes a day. I just open it up and then for 10 minutes I'm just like, let's just adjust things slightly. Let's just like make this little element open up with a filter just a little bit in this section, and then walk away from it, come back a day later, refresh perspective, and just keep doing that. And don't like hyper fixate on it, else it'll sound like shit. Oh, I've really done a lot with ring mod. You just slap a ring mod and you just go crazy with. I mean, do whatever you want, for sure. But like, okay, ring modulation at like audio rate or near audio rate will sound cool because it'll like alternate between sounding like a rhythmic thing and then sounding like a spectral effect, and that can be neat. Immediately I'm like, okay, that harmonic is way too bright. This guy? Are you getting... Why? How is it made so loud? Is there like a flat line? Yeah, standard multiband. No, that's not even active. Why is it? Can we just mute it? Yeah, this song and Floppy, I mean, they're like the same BPM. They're both like 140, and melodic and stuff. But also, everything in the EP is using Harmor and a little bit of additive stuff. There's additive stuff at every, I'm using very similar patches throughout this EP, so they all have like kind of a similar color. Which audio interface? I have a Scarlett 2i2. Got it like 7-8 years ago, and still kicking. Though it is starting to have issues where it suddenly everything starts crackling and I have to restart it. But like, it's fine. Yeah. There's a click. How the fuck did I never notice this click? This is like the most obvious one. Wait, now I didn't hear it. I don't hear it in headphones, but I hear it on my monitors. Oh, we're gimbal locking again. I already have the input buffer size like maxed the fuck out. I'm surprised. I don't think this project file shouldn't be tweaking out, I feel like. Okay, my main concern with this song, it's kind of a loudness thing now. Because, okay, floppy ears is like really fucking loud, I think. I think the whole thing's at like -6. This guy here is like -8. I don't know. It's like you kind of want the whole EP to be the same loudness, but this is kind of a down-tempo dynamic song inherently, so maybe I should just not worry about that. Probably should just not worry about that. People have volume knobs. Right. Alright, counter's at 4 now. That's great. I pushed the utility before the limiter by like about 1 dB. And I had to remix a couple elements to make it sound right with the limiter getting slammed more. I don't know. I have to revisit the song, unfortunately. But it's sounding mostly there. Changed. But like compositionally, whatever, mix is pretty fine. So I mean that's everything. This song is done. I'm not opening it again. We're done. My loves aren't hitting the high score when Wimpy betas. Yeah. Well, it's not that they're not hitting the high score, it's that I want them to all have the same score. I think. Not necessarily. It's just that like optimally, if someone's listening to your EP, they press play on the first song. Like let's pretend they just got like super fucking stoned and they're lying down on a couch and they can't touch their volume knob, right? Then you want it to be a cohesive experience with every single individual thing, you know? Now, if it varies a little bit, that's fine. And that's fine. Because this is a dynamic song, so it's gonna just be less loud. This song is a banger, and thus it justifies being a little bit louder. It makes it bang a little bit harder, you know? Okay. Okay. Let's open up this guy, which is what I was working on at the beginning of the stream. The old song from like 2019, Skinning a VIP. Let's rethink it a little bit. We're being productive, folks. Ain't that fun. Let's go to this guy again. I gotta practice fucking thing. No. 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 Is that even it? Right, dude. That's it. No. No. Okay. The song. What am I? What is the snare, man? What's going on, bud? Buddy, you can't do that. You can't do that. We need a new sound to get added here on an impact. That's what we need. And what we need also is for me to have fucking reorganize this project file. But I'm not gonna because I don't want to, and thus I'm gonna continue to complain. This is a nightmare. Where are the little plip plop clinkety clinks, you know? Oh, this guy. Is it that guy? What's the super fucking wide thing? This guy. Oh, that guy's been fucking me, man. Oh my god, it's a snare outside of the snare group. Alert. All hands on deck. Everyone, get to your fucking battle stations. We have a snare right outside the snare group. Okay. Alright, crisis averted, yo. It's broken. Why do you sound like absolute... Oh, you broke. Why did you break? What the fuck? What the fuck? What happened to you? I've never seen this bug before. Oh, what's controlling you? F read offset. E read offset. The pitch. Why the fuck? This guy isn't moving. Oh, what? The fuck happened? Okay. Okay, that's weird as fuck. Okay, okay. Multi-map sweet bugging, man. I don't know. Alright, I just have delays baked into this sound, apparently. Oh. Hmm. Can I just duplicate this again? And then we nudge this offset. Okay, the squelches all need like a ton of work. I gotta do a lot, but banger, fucking banger. I wanted to add, where are the plinkies? The little plinky dinky, you know? Yeah, I know that. Where? I don't know where they are, man. No, did I not? Oh, fucking kill me. What I get is what I get for continuing to not fix my project file. This is all deserved. I deserve all this. Here they are. Here they are. Okay, let's grain delay and spray them. It's like a fuck ton of these. Let's make this all like that. And then let's utility. I don't know, this isn't gonna sound good at all. Kill me. I don't fucking know, dude. One thing we could have done, actually, this guy, make this guy fat as fuck. Fucking hate the LFO, dude. It's not going away. My hatred for it is not going away. If you've seen... If you've seen my video on tipper squelches, that's what I'm doing. Here, I'll explain it in a second. Let's take this guy real quick before I lose track. I want this guy in. That guy's sick. That guy fucks. I'm confused. Anyways, yeah, so my tipper squelches video, basically I'm using a bunch of spell books to move around parallel bandpass filters. So I have parallel auto filters doing bandpass things. The spell books are moving around and I'm automating how the spell books move around, so they're synced to the grid. So basically twisting one knob twists for technically 6 knobs here. It's twisting pitch, a gate, the frequency of the 2 bandpass filters, and the resonances of the 2 bandpass filters. So twisting that knob gives me a unique form and filter, and then I can change, like if I spin offset it, then the knob now does different movement because now it's moving through space in a different way, right? Right, so like I can now spin this. It's doing something different. Now it's random, I can't predict what it's gonna do, but it sounds kind of good there. Let's make that 3. But you can comb through randomness and then you can move through it. So it's like a random LFO, but you have controlled randomness, right? I can set the pitch mean, which is the mean pitch of this spellbook parameter. And now it's almost always going to be pitched up. Where the fuck is that delay? It's so annoying. I don't know where it's located. Is it just the B delay here? Is this getting sent to B a little bit? No. Where are you, dude? Stop it. Is it in the group? In the... I can't. Oh. Yeah, it's fucking stop. Okay, this needs so much work, but it's cool. It's a cool vibe. It's a cool vibe. It's like a weird fever dream, but not a scary fever dream like my other song called Fever Dream, but a confusing one, you know? Pretty neat. The premise, I think that could go on an album. It's this guy. And then I have so I have 3 upcoming projects that I want to do. 4. Technically 4. So I'm gonna release the thing I'm currently doing. I want to work on this album, which consists of music I've been conceptualizing for an album for the past 5 years. And then I also want to do this EP, which is like a watery, kind of down-tempo-ish EP, also from the past 5 years. And I also want to do a microtonal album, which is all microtonal stuff from the past like 2 years. And then I also want to do a microtonal EP, but I think I could possibly just fit all this into one big giant album. All of this stuff. And maybe I could just shove the water EP stuff into the album and make the album even longer. So that's stuff I need to think about. But this song here that I'm working on would go on this. It would be a lot of like 80 to 95 BPM, like down-tempo glitch hop, kind of Broken Soul Jamboree-esque type shit. Yeah. And then we have this fucking thing. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with you. Too much music, man. Too much fucking shit. Too much stuff. Okay, I have been streaming for 3 hours. I think I'm done. Unless there's something else urgent I want to work on. But, yeah, I think I'm probably done. I mean, we could revisit this song. Just for the sake of, like, I don't know, check if the decisions I made on it weren't terribly fucking stupid. And then I need to read this book. I got recommended a book by Max Conyi. Got to talk to him for a bit, and it was a really, really good conversation. Talking about music and shit. Called The Music, Sweet Anticipation, Music, and the Psychology of Expectation. And it's supposed to be really good. I don't know. I haven't read it. It's big. I need to read more book. I used to read books all the time. All right, take care, Exon. Yeah, I'm probably heading out soonish. So I used to read books all the fucking time. And I remember when I was like 17, 18, when I was 18, started going to college, started studying math and physics, and I stopped reading all the time. And I like consciously noticed my brain degrade verbally in terms of my ability to speak, put thoughts and ideas together in novel ways. And eventually I stopped noticing that because I think it just kept degrading. I just didn't notice. And I think that's something that I lost from not fucking reading all the time. Like, you ever have a conversation with someone and they're just like verbose and can just like put into words all of the things that are in their head in such a concise and well understood way, you know? Like, I feel like the thing I just said could have probably been worded much more concisely and understandably, you know? Anyways, I gotta read more because I think reading is just like what does that. Huh. Interesting. That's pretty cool. suppose what you read more than reading, I suppose. I mean, frankly, I just read like a fuck ton of like YA fantasy. It's like an obscene amount of that. And that did it for me, really. Though I suppose like in young adult fantasy, there's a lot of like descriptions of things. And I don't know, you have to be good at putting things into words to be able to describe fantastical things. So I suppose that makes sense in a way. Like, I've been reading plenty of books on like acoustics and audio and stuff like that, but yeah, that doesn't really lend well to doesn't translate well to like flowery, not necessarily like flowery language, but just language and conjuncting and describing interesting ideas, because it's mostly just like maths, you know. Where's that low-pitched thing? Is it that guy, really? around. I've recently given into vibe coding and I'm trying to make a website right now on just like music theory training stuff, and I'm making a chord training web app. So this is like just a random screenshot of it, but it would basically flash and just show you a bunch of different like let's say triads or whatever, and you look at this and you'd be like, okay, what chord is this, right? You look at this and the idea being it trains you to recognize chords in MIDI, right? Like I can recognize chords on the piano instantaneously at this point. MIDI fucking sucks though. MIDI's unintuitive. Music theorists don't really learn with MIDI, and producers don't really understand music theory because they work only in MIDI, right? There's like a gap there. So I think this is something novel and like kind of interesting to explore, and I think would be a really useful tool. So basically you look at this and you just end up learning what the shape is. And you're just like, oh, this is a diminished first inversion or second inversion or whatever, right? And so you just type that in, you get scored, whatever, it gets gamified, you get points, and then you can progress to the next level. Then I'm gonna do a microtonal version. So the issue with that is I'm gonna have to figure out like consensus on different chord names and stuff like that, but how fucking cool would it be to do a 22 Edo MIDI chord like recognition app thing? You know, you just see like, oh, that's a super major chord with in some inversion, or a magic chord, or whatever the notation system thing is. And then there's also going to be like different versions of it that I'm working on where it'll say like make a one draw out, it'll say draw out, assuming you're in D major, it'll say do a 1-5-2 chord progression, and then you have to place the notes for 1-5-2, right? So that would be super useful for just like internalizing and understanding how to like build chords and stuff like that. And then when it comes to composition, then you could just think in terms of chords. And so yeah, all sorts of chords, seventh chords, add 9, add 11, all the jazz chords, sus chords, augmented chords, diminished chords, and all of that shit I think is massively useful, even for normal musicians, but I think for, yeah, Zen theory stuff as well. The other thought is it's going to be hard as fuck, I think, for, like, there's no generalized chord thing for all of them, so I'd have to, like, by hand do, I guess, the more popular ones. Maybe just, like, all the Idos up to 53 that are possible. It would be a lot of effort, though. But the most common ones, so like 22, 17, 19, 31. I would make 23 work because 23 is the best, though that's going to be, I have no idea how I'd figure that out. You can do pitch set class notation. Maybe there'd be different modes that you can enable. Also, one idea would be to do kite notation. Can't remember which one kite notation was. I remember Kite was talking about different chords. I think it works through like 72 Edo. Well, I think in kite notation 23 Edo is treated as a subset of 46, which I don't know. I remember really liking the chord names we came up for 23 with the it's like a sharp fifth, flat fifth, whatever. It gets weird when you treat it as like as a subset of 46, but I don't know. That's for future me to figure out. But there's also the possibility that I could just make it so that you could create your own chord game and enter your own chord shapes. So like you just enter like a pitch set class thing. You know, you just be like, okay, I want a 0, 13, 17 thing, and then those are the intervals, and then you say it's going to be called this, and that way it would be a generalized chord recognition app that the user could create their own set of chords, so you can invent your own theory and apply it. But that's probably stupid, because the more we can get everyone to work under the same naming conventions, the better. CEG is always a major chord, even if it sounds super major or flips to minor. Kite notation is just whatever the chord is spelled as is what it's called. I don't like that at all. I don't know. I really liked it. Yeah, there'd have to be a lot of debate to figure out what the fuck to do there. Because I would want it. I mean, of course I could just do what I want for the app, but that's stupid. So it should be something that's like, again, I could just make different modes for different people who do chord recognition in different ways. but I found it super, super useful in 23 Edo to just think about like pure the sound of it. Like this was like 5 months ago when we did all the chord name stuff for 23, but just the idea of like, okay, this is a neutral chord and this is like a neutral 7 chord and this is like a sub minor 7 chord, and while those individual chord names don't quite make sense like diatonically or whatever, they still are like feelings of chord, you know? I don't know. But yeah, tuning agnostic stuff. Well, it's not tuning agnostic for like, what if you're in 15 Edo or a multiple of 5 where you just get rings of a pentatonic scale instead of a full diatonic thing? And like, how the fuck does that work? I use what I call temperament notation, which is basically just like whatever the chord sounds like is what the chord is called. So major chord sounds similar in every tuning. Yeah, but then that notation leads with like frankly really stupid sounding chord names, because you're like, oh, that's a sense of magic super whatever the fuck. I can't. No, that could just be me being stubborn because I hate every time I'd learn a new word in Zen theory, I'd push back against it heavily. But you have to memorize a unique type of temperament name for every single chord, which is like, I just like it things to be like strictly straight up just sub minor, minor, neutral, sub major, major, super major, right? Like that kind of scheme for like, those are your thirds, and then you have a fifth, and then, you know, varieties of fifth, and then the seventh. Basically the same thing. What we did with 23 Edo and we're talking about there made so much intuitive sense to me. So I don't know. It does have a system for 15 Edo as well, and makes E and F the same, and B. Yeah, I don't like that. It makes sense mathematically. It holds up. I get it. But I want what it sounds like to be the thing. So, I mean, what you're doing, yeah, but you get weird chords with major, with like a flat 5, you call it major flat 5. But you get weird chords like a major with a flat 5. Are you talking about with like the 23 notation thing? Because that made sense to me. Right? Like a... I don't know, yeah. It's just weird. There's a lot of shit that has to be figured out, but at the very least it'll be pretty straightforward to do it for tunings that are popular and people use. So 17, 19, 22, 26, 31, all the diatonics. That'll be super, super useful. And also easily like transferable, because immediately all the same chords exist from 12 exist in those, and then some extra ones. Yeah, I think that could be super cool. And then there would also be, yeah, I already described it, but like, you would write out chords. So instead of you recognizing and saying what the chord is, it'll say write a fucking C sub minor 7 chord, and then you have to inscribe that, or then it can expand out to chord progressions. Differentiate between Mavilla major. Yeah, see, the problem with that is you have to memorize the word Mavilla in onirotonic specifically for the chord qualities. Like, I understand what you're saying because I know it, but it's confusing as fuck. Whereas if it was just, you know, like C major, C down 5th major versus C up 5th major, you know, stuff like that. I feel like that's more universal, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of hyped on the idea. I think there's a lot of potential there. I also made a counterpoint trainer thing. It doesn't work super well, or like it works for first species, second and on speed. I don't know. It's weird, but essentially you're given a cantus firmus. You do MIDI counterpoint with it. The problem is I don't really actually know counterpoint or have trained to understand counterpoint under like instruction and from a teacher and from someone who actually knows how to do counterpoint. So I feel like I'm not qualified to like make an app for learning counterpoint deeply at all. First species is really straightforward though, so that could be cool, but doing a microtonal counterpoint trainer in MIDI would also be fucking sick, because we have no tools for learning shit in MIDI. The only counterpoint trainer that exists that I found online is staff notation, and it's got a super shitty UI and is super confusing. So hard to remember, especially if you're focused on the tuning. The thing is, it applies to every tuning with Mavilla. Yeah, that's true. But if there's a way to just fit, like, I don't know, thirds and sevenths, general, like, minor, major notation into that, that would be sick too. I think what's going to happen is, because there's so many different competing theories and different ways that people think about chords, I would have to create different modes of labeling systems, which should be easy, honestly. That shouldn't be too hard. Though ideally, again, like in music theory, you don't want there to be multiple different names for different chords, right? I don't know. And do classic notation just modify the fives? What's classic notation? Is that just major, minor, subminor, etc.? I don't know. Anyways, I think I listened to the song and it sounded good. I'm trying to remember if there's anything. I totally got caught up. But I think I listened through this and I was like, sounds fucking fine to me. I made a couple tweaks over here, but I think this is done, so that's good. It's fine. It's just people already use temperaments and they're thinking, even if they're not super into RTT, we have the language and the logic and applying what already exists. Basically what I'm talking about, yeah. Yeah, it's just there already exist people who use multiple different schemes, so it would be best to make multiple different like language versions, or I could just make it the way I want it to be, and then if people want to use the app, they have to just convert to my way of thinking, and thus I can permeate and control the entire Zen Harmonic Alliance like language discourse, right? Create a imbalanced power kind of thing, impose my own restrictions and rules about what we call things. That'd be pretty good. Oh, I just wanted to show this is really good. Doman's 37 based interval naming scheme. This is what I feel like when I see the temperament. This is what I'm reading when I see the temperament names for the chords, you know? Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic. I wouldn't do that. I'll ask. We'll have like a whole debate or whatever in the thing, because I want it to be a really helpful tool. Because I think it could seriously improve people's composition process. I think that would be super powerful. Because, like, I mean, frankly, even for 12, I suck ass at chord recognition. I can recognize major and minor uninverted chords, but the second inversions come in, I'm like, I get super confused, and I have to like manually uninvert things by shifting things around by octaves or whatever. And I think just training that alone will be super useful. Like temperament notation for 22, you find intuitive. Yeah, exactly. Some people are going to find things intuitive that other people won't. So that would be useful. Though I guess you could say there's a utility in forcing everyone to like can use one single naming thing. Because like that's where a lot of the confusion in music theory comes from, right? There's like so many different notations for like notating what an inversion is. I don't know. Yeah, it's not hard to apply to other tunings. That is a good pro. That for sure is a good pro. Though, I mean, I suppose the way I was thinking about it also isn't necessarily hard. I guess there's like going to be rules and caveats on every single thing. I don't fucking know. I'll just, I'll ask questions and try to survey the community and stuff like that as I work on it. But in the meantime, I guess I'll just start off with doing the really straightforward ones with well-known chords. So I was going to say like all the diatonic allowing ones, though I guess 22 is one of those. There's already like multiple different ways to think about chords in it. I'll just get the 12 Ito one working, and I'll survey the community and see what people think, and then yeah. I think it's I'm pretty happy with what I got going. Okay, I think the song is good. I think it sounds fine. Let's go back here. it works. At least in headphones. At least in headphones. That switch up totally works now. Though this part here, the sound gets kind of muffled in a not great way. Oh. But yeah, I would say, I don't know, the only like intuitive chord naming system that really clicked with me was like the shit that like Zaya was doing with like 31 and her 31 note theory stuff. Though I suppose it's a lot easier to conceptualize and think about chords in 31. It's a little bit more obvious what different intervals are. Okay, too much, but wait, if we parallel, oh yeah, I have to parallel process it with. So stab create, we were talking to Alyssa about earlier. Stab creates is a multi-band thing, so there's crossovers. So if I play these together, a dry wet rack, right? You're gonna get. Well, you should be getting like weird ass like comb filtering and stuff like that. And to avoid that, you just instantiate another stab here, but this one doesn't have any processing, so just the dry side has to have the same crossovers applied, you know? Oh, I remember an issue with the mix. There's delays on one of the physical modeling things. This guy. Yeah, the delay sounds like ass. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Maybe like that. Yeah, I guess she only did triads. And I have only been thinking about triads so far. Honestly, I just been thinking about triads and seventh chords. Which, like, triads and seventh chords are pretty easy to think about. Here, do I have my notes still? I think I do. Chords. Yeah. This is very, very disorganized. But at least it's pretty straightforward, I think, to categorize all triads and seventh chords. And then I would just... I mean, I think pretty much every tuning, you could just treat everything as triads and seventh chords and then, you know, move the fifth up and down or whatever. I mean, you just have to have some sort of way to describe the quality of the third, the fifth, and the seventh, and then you could just treat extensions like jazz extensions. And then at least that is like, you know what it is just from the description of the word itself, because there are like I think we even determined in terms of seventh chords, there's like fucking 50 of them or something. I can't remember, but there's like an absurdly large amount of seventh chords in like 23 Ito. 15, 17, 19. Yeah. Some have more or less of those, but some minor, yeah. And you have weird augmented and diminished chords. I guess you'd have to like... Or just like, yeah, a unique tuning for every single one, or we just like submit to Kite and just like let Kite be the fucking ruler of everything. How... yeah. You can just modify just from the fifth. Only thing I like about it is that it's very dry. Yeah, but I feel like if you're gonna create a generalized way to talk about microtonal chords, in which case there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, you know, even if you're boiling it down to just like third and seventh and fifth quality, the second you have like dual fifths or whatever, like the space explodes. You kind of need a dry system. Also, chords already sound dry as fuck. You know, like C major flat 5 sharp 11, that's already pretty dry, but like it gives you all the information that you have about it. I understand there's a utility in having like qualitative, or like not qualitative but associative words with things, like calling something the magic or the sense of magic or Mavilla major or whatever. It's like, oh, that's that place in my mind. I have an association with it. But I think you could do that with numbers too, even dry things. Like honestly, after studying 23 theory for a bit and just doing a lot of chords, a minor flat fifth chord, the 0 6 13, even thinking about it in pitch set class notation, this combination of numbers has a color to me. Your brain ends up doing it anyways. You know, it's not, it looks unappetizing to begin with, but eventually you end up thinking about it in the qualitative state, which is kind of interesting. Another thing I could do is I could just leave it all as pitch set class notation, or that would be one of the options, because I think pitch set class notation is extremely useful. It is an option. Like, I feel like when you're deciding to compose in a thing, it is a very, very valid option to just think entirely in terms of pitch set class. And so that should for sure be one of the options for the chord recognition trainer thing. I think unique chord names for triads is better and consistent with 12 Edo notation. Well, oh, for triads. Yeah, well, I mean, every triad has a unique name, but it's just like sub minor, super major, etc. But triads are simple, so I don't know. I would have to look at, or I guess you're talking about when the fifth quality is different, right? I don't know. For sure, though, pitch set class I think would be useful. So you see a thing and you literally would just enter the numbers. Because like I have associations with these numbers. I mean that being said, I do know this is a minor down 5 chord, right? For the trainer, I'll just do something dry and clear, but I just think for the future of chord notation in general, definitely prefer temperament notation or some system that bridges tunings, just so major chords sound similar in any tuning. You have other chords that are similar. Yeah, I guess. I was gonna say that the way mine works also applies, but like, okay, a Mavilla major chord definitely does not sound like a major chord, right? That makes sense. You have other chords that are similar. Man, I just hate the name. I'm just averse to names. I see Sense of Magic and I just cringe. I can't. But it's so childish. But I don't know. I think the ultimate way will just be have a bunch of different options. And it really shouldn't be that hard to implement that as a bunch of different options. And the ultimate thing would just be to have pitch set class notation, and then you could manually input, hey, I want to train myself on like 0 7 14 chords, right? Which would be like what I call a neutral chord in 23 Edo. So you can also think of it as like a fucking super major up fifth chord. Yeah. Well, I feel like classic notation I don't even know what classic notation means when it comes to more complex chords or like weirder tuning systems. I don't know. Yeah, let's revisit this thing here. I think the temperament notation, it's just something you just have to spend time with. I think if anyone spends enough time like with it, then eventually you internalize it and then it's fine. Like that's with everything in music theory, frankly. Like all the things that a bitch and complain about, like calling a perfect fifth. I'm like, what's the 5 for? Eventually you just accept it and you're just like, yeah, it's a fifth, right? So like, yeah, it's totally valid. I guess the concern is not like how usable it is in the end, is like how easy is it to learn initially. That's usually where my beef is with naming things. But I've always generally liked the more dry scientific approach. Usually. Like chemistry is pretty dry and scientific, and they have like a naming schema system, even though apparently that's also not even entirely consistent. But I think that's pretty cool. Here. Say the only things that are invented in chemistry, I think, are just the element names when they discover a new element. But compounds and mixtures and stuff like that are, I think chemical structures are named like fucking carbon dioxide. You know, it's a carbon and 2 oxygens, right? You can't fuck that up. Now, you need to memorize what carbon is and what oxygen is, but you're gonna have to do that just because the elements are like the basic building blocks, you know? Would be really interesting to see if someone's writing about microcontroller. I assume you autocorrected microtonal theory many years ago. I don't know what the oldest thing is. I mean, people were conceptualizing about the existence of like 53 notes per octave was in like thought of or invented in China, like some 1000 2000 year BC. Just because like people did basic tuning theory and are like, oh yeah, if you do 53 notes per octave, like you get like amazing approximations of yeah, I got you. You get amazing approximations of the first 3 prime numbers, right? So it's been like conceptualized and thought of for sure. People have explored temperament and tuning for a while. I think the idea of like the more novel tunings, like let's just like divide an octave into some arbitrary number of notes and see what sounds it can make, which is like what we're kind of doing here. Like 23 notes per octave is a stupid tuning if you're trying to approach it from actually tempering intervals. But if you are exploring and expanding on the idea of divisions of an octave, then you can get there. And I think that idea has been relatively new from like the 50s, whenever the Zen Harmonic Alliance started. There's like a history to it for sure, but like the Zen Harmonic Alliance is like a couple dudes like were like, fuck yeah dude, tunings are awesome, and got together and like started like a group, and then it just kept going. I don't know. I don't know the history of it too much, but I think the novel exploration of and discovering of new tunings for the sake of hearing sounds that you've never heard before, that kind of approach is new from like around the 50s ish somewhat. I don't remember the year, but because I think before that, for the most part, everyone just thought about temperament and tunings as like different ways of tuning their things so that their fifths are super pure, or maybe their thirds are super pure, and like not much more depth beyond that. 23 Ito does have a okay, I suppose if you wanted to stack 14 over 11 over and over and over again 23 times, you would arrive at 23 Ito. Yeah, it's just an odd interval to figure out. Yeah, and 17/6, like no one's gonna be like, damn, that's 17 over 16 fucking quarter tone sounds so good. I think that's a quarter. I'm assuming that's a quarter tone. It's a small number. Yeah, that's funny. Forgot what I was thinking something else. It's gone now. The song sounds good, right? Oh, in terms of tuning, some cultures have discovered, and just like, yeah, I mean, like every culture's like developed its own like tuning independently. Most cultures have discovered the pentatonic scale independently, which is cool. There's this one tribe in Africa, I forget which country, Tanzania, I don't know. They're apparently the only civilization to have made tunings with a pure seventh just harmonic, and the shit sounds awesome. It's so good. Come on. After I listened to this album a bunch, and then I could just hear a seventh harmonic. When I heard a seventh harmonic, like a just pure seventh harmonic and like just intonation music or whatever, I was like, oh shit, that's a seventh harmonic. Like I learned to recognize it by listening to this, which is cool.
Malugala makamu gali nyumba na nyumba mutizalizala bide kalimye mwande rumbi mwana kwetu nyama moja nino myagwe mama ye hola baba.
Next guy goes crazy. Never mind. This guy, he like throat sing.
Mama mangara danga ya baba mwana mama na baba mwana mama na ni da baba mama mama baba
Fucking sick, dude. Yeah, he's like throat singing a little bit. It's really interesting.
Bye.
I want to learn to fucking sing like that. That guy's insane. What the fuck, dude? Like, normally when I hear someone like singing that low with that tone, they're like throat singing and playing like a constant drone. He's got like such control over it. It's fucking nuts. This album's awesome. This album is really, really good. I recommend it. Also, title links are super cool. They like they send you to literally any streaming platform. So, it'll like connect you to Spotify if you use Spotify or whatever. We've money to resample chop. Yeah, honestly, there's like one of these songs is like playing like it's like 70 BPM and like it's kind of like head naughty, head bangable, and I could imagine like reggae drums and stuff over it. But yeah, fucking wild. Apparently, to my knowledge, the only civilization known on Earth to have a tuning to tune its music with the seventh harmonic, a pure just seventh harmonic in it, which is just fucking nuts. And I think the whole tradition, their whole musical tradition, is just like verbally passed down. It's insane. It's so, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand how, like, why is it that only one civilization, and how did their musical culture evolve in that direction, in that way, to include that harmonic? I mean, it makes sense because like I think it's like a pentatonic scale, but it's like just intonation, and so, you know, if you're like to loosely approximate it with like okay, I have another thing fucking playing, which is annoying. But like something, I think honestly I think that's kind of what it was playing. But these are all justly tuned, so instead of a flat 7 at, you know, 1,000 cents or whatever, it's at 970 cents. But yeah, apparently it's the only fucking civilization that did that. Really cool. It's a good album. Ethnomusicology is super, super sick. It's really neat. I've been studying it a lot more recently, and I want to, I love world building. I like making alien music that sounds like it came from like an alien world. I like having synthesizers sound like they're creatures speaking and garbling and rapping and whatever, right? It's my shit. I like fantasy music, you know? Have I retuned the Osmos at all? No, I have played, like I've played like synthesizers that have MPE on them, and I tune the synthesizer to like 23 notes per octave or something, which like still sucks because it's like 23 notes on a, you know, 12 Edo thing. But it is learnable because like 23 is only one less than 24, so it's pretty easy. Like the 5th is the 13th note, so it's only one note above an octave above your root or whatever. So it's like, it's conceptually pretty, it's not too crazy. I only spent like one 30-minute, 40-minute session trying to play it, so it's definitely learnable for sure. And then you can wiggle the keys, which is neat. But no, I haven't explored it that much really, no. Still just trying to get good at 12. Yeah. Anyways, ethnomusicology is sick. I've been studying gamelan a little bit, and gamelan's fucking crazy. So pretty much all music has a big emphasis on the downbeat of your rhythm cycle, on the first beat, right? You know, like Western music, dance music, everything, and it's 16 beats, and then you're back on the 1, and then, oh, here's the new elements getting added, all that shit. Hindustani music works in rhythmic cycles, where everything condenses and falls on the sam, which is the 1. They have a bunch of, you know, they have raga, they have tala, which are like different versions of scales and rhythm with like added rules that operate similarly, but very differently. And it all comes down on 1. In gamelan, they operate under completely different rules, and their heaviest beat, where all the focus goes on, is the last beat. Everything builds to this last beat, and they hit a gong, and then it repeats, and then it builds back up, and they hit a gong, and then it repeats and builds back up. It's got a different focus. It's fucking fascinating. And so I want to study and like learn more about how all these cultures like music theories work, because like I know a decent amount of Hindustani classical music theory, which is super cool because like basically it's like it's like rhythm and scales, but like a little bit deeper. There's like a little bit more of a deeper cultural aspect built into how it works. Like if you're playing tabla and you're playing like a ting tal, it's like a 4/4, but every like third cycle of your or in a 16 beat cycle between beats 8 and 12, you have to silence your bass drum, shit like that. So like you're playing with the bass drum for the first 2-4 bars or whatever, and then the third bar you silence the bass drum and then it comes back in, and then you culturally, when you listen to that structure so many times, eventually you like intuit and understand when it's going to get silenced and when it comes back in, and you build these like qualitative emotional responses and feeling states with that structure, which is something entirely unique to Hindustani classical music, right? So adding rules of some sort that are culturally built up is just fascinating. And gamelan does something similar to it. A lot of African music does similar stuff in terms of just having different rules and just being culturally built up. Anyways, I want to learn, I want to study all that shit, and I want to world build and create different musical cultures beyond just like they have a funny tuning. I want to create scales that have rules in them that have not ever been done before, but when you listen to it, you understand the rule intuitively. I think that would be sick. Yeah, so Steven Weigel, he has a YouTube channel and he has like a ton of different keyboards that are like set up specifically to play in different tunings, if you're interested in that. But yeah, you should get isomorphic keyboards are basically like the best way to play microtonal tunings. Like the Lumitone, which unfortunately costs like $4,000. Zenpilled, when are you getting that, by the way? How's the how's that whole thing going? Yeah, let's change this to, I don't know. Let's go back to this guy. Fuck it. Who wants to create corresponding keyboard? I can help with getting it done. Well, there's definitely a few things that exist. Again, there's like there are unique like 15 Edo keyboards and stuff like that like you can build. I'm pretty sure Steven Weigel has a bunch of them, but if you're gonna go all out and try to get fancy keyboards, yeah, you should get an isomorphic one, because then you could just like change the tuning willy-nilly. Zenpilled uses a, I forgot what it's called. It's embarrassing. The fuck is your thing called? Well, he's gonna type it in a second, so I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, there's a bunch of different options for isomorphic controllers and stuff like that. The one Zenpilled uses, I think, is like $400 or something. And then yeah, there's a Lumitone, and then I know you could use like Ableton push pads or something. Linstrument, yeah, that makes sense. Richie Green. All right, I'm getting real sleepy and tired, so I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. But this was a hoot, and a holler. We worked on music. Stuff's pretty much done. I need to come up with names for everything. It's a nightmare. Scared away all my viewers talking about microtonal fucking chord notation names and theory. I love it. I'm so fucking hungry. All right. I'm gonna eat some food. I'm gonna work on this chord app a little bit longer. Just gonna try to get the 12 Edo thing going, and then once that's like really solid, then I'll work on the microtonal stuff. Yeah, the app Empire, exactly. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm gonna shill it on like the music theory subreddits or whatever, and get everyone like super into app, but the app is also going to have like half of the app is going to be microtonal theory, so it's gonna work to siphon people into it. They'll be like, oh shit, you can train microtonal chords in here. Maybe, I don't know. I wish, I hope. It'd be cool. But then all the musicians who like look at the microtonal side, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, a sense of magic chord. they're gonna run away. Fucking do. All right, yeah, I'm heading out. This was fun. I'll stream again tomorrow. Also late, probably. Should be good. All right, take care, y'all.